Perhaps you've read in the study guide about the Ehrlich-Simon wager, or the Simon-Ehrlich wager. This is one of the more interesting debates in natural resource conservation or population. Now, Paul Ehrlich made a very large name for himself through this book called The Population Bomb. And he remains a stalwart neo-Malthusian, someone who is advocating for population control, even though it seems pretty apparent that we don't have a gargantuan population dilemma anymore on the planet. We do have some issues with our lifestyle. That's a different story. So if we want to be able to support 11 billion people in the next 100 years in a lifestyle that Americans currently enjoy, then we're going to have to make some changes. We're going to have to figure some hard questions out rather quickly. But that's a different story. So Paul Ehrlich put this book out and became kind of a media star for a while in the early 70s, mid 70s. And Julian Simon, an economist, a free market libertarian economist, refuted a lot of these things that he was saying. He's what he referred to as sort of the doomsayer approach to population size and global planning and that sort of thing. And so anyway, Julian Simon made this bet with Paul Ehrlich, and in this bet, he said, you can name a set of natural resources. Actually, I think they were strategic metals. And in 10 years, if those prices haven't fallen, then he would give him the monetary difference between what they were and what their prices had risen to. The whole idea with that is that prices are reflections of scarcity, and they are signals to a market economy of the scarcity of a particular natural resource. And what Julian Simon was trying to say was that natural resource abundance is a matter of technology and a matter of demand. That's not really so much why I'm wanting you to know about Julian Simon, though. He's also rather than being a neo-Malthusian in the population sense, he's what we refer to as a cornucopian. Cornucopia, as you recall from second grade Thanksgiving craft projects, perhaps, is a basket that's full of food. Cornucopia is this endless supply. The philosophy of a cornucopian is something like this, that all of our problems that we have in the world are typically solved eventually by human technology and human innovation and ingenuity. And the more ingenuity we have, and this is particularly the case, in an internet-connected world, a globalized world, that the more people we have, therefore the more ingenuity we really have, and perhaps the faster the innovations will come. So, in a sense, as Milton Friedman made the point about using resources in order to develop replacement resources, in a sense what the cornucopians say is that the more population we have, the more solutions we have to problems. So compare that to Malthus. Malthus was of this idea that we need to control population, and of course he didn't have a very good idea about it because he wasn't in favor of abortion or even birth control. He just wanted abstinence. That was never going to work. But Malthus was one of these folks who waved red flags and said, we've got to stop doing something, or else the world will end. And this is what Julian Simon saw in Paul Ehrlich. He said he saw someone who was basically telling everyone to stop. And so that's the idea that Simon really believed that the more humans we have, the more educated humans we have, the more innovation we'll have, and the faster our technology will improve our lives and make those solutions that we need for the future.